Hi, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. Welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Hey, today I've got my friend Ray Hanna from Milton, Ontario, Canada. Ray, welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show.
Thank you, Mr. Proctor. Thanks for having me.
Hey, look, you've got an awesome history here. Let's get into why you got into real estate, how you found me, what business was like. I understand last year was your best year in real estate. So we're going to talk all about how the Craig Proctor system has helped you go from good to awesome. And we'll share a few of your techniques and your strategies. We're going to talk about team building as well, because the whole idea when you get into real estate is you want to learn how to make more money and work less, which means you get into real estate because you want freedom. And ironically, freedom is the first thing that most realtors lose when they get into real estate, because they're working all the time. So Ray, welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Thanks for being here. Talk to us about how did you find me, and what were you doing in real estate before we met?
Okay, so how did I find you? It was 2020, and I was on Facebook, and I had seen somebody that I know had gotten a Quantum Leap Award, and I figured, why do you get that? How do you get that? And I recognized that comes from Craig Proctor. If you've had a 50% increase in your business year over year. And I figured, man, I could really use that right about now. Like, I'm just paycheck to paycheck. I'm not doing so well. And 50% increase to my business is exactly what I needed. So I started looking up who is Craig Proctor, and he's a real estate coach, and he helps real estate agents. And he had a super conference coming up, and I figured I better go to this so I can learn some new techniques.
Okay, so you had never been to any of our conferences before, so you just kind of found me on Facebook. The Quantum Leap Award is exactly that. That's what we help agents do. We help them go from X to 2X to 5X to 10X, and I think that's what you've experienced in the short time you've been with us, right? You're doubling up and tripling up your numbers. What's your goal?
4X my business year over year.
4X, and how long have you been with us for?
Since just July 2020.
Okay, so like not even 2 years. Okay, all right. Well, that's good. That's good progress. We'd like to hear that. How many of you watching this would like to get a 4X your business in under 2 years? So not double, not triple, but 4 times the amount of business. What's your goal for this year? Because you're just getting started with this.
800,000 GCI. That's the goal.
Nice. And what were you doing before you met me?
100,000.
100,000. So that would be an 8X. Awesome. Okay. Well, let's get you up to 10X in $1 million. That's my goal here. Then you'll get one of those $1 million awards.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, for those of you watching this, who don't know about my approach, I'm going to let Ray explain it. That's probably the best way to do this. Ray, before we get started, you said your business, the way you made your $100,000 a year in real estate was through friends and family and referrals. What's wrong with that? Why not just keep doing it that way? What attracted you to the Craig Proctor system?
I can't make my phone ring when that's how I get business. My phone is going to ring when someone needs me, and that doesn't fill in a lot of the gaps. And I needed effective marketing solutions. I didn't know how to market myself. And then if I did do some marketing, once I got a phone call, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to say. I didn't have a script. I didn't know what the goal or the purpose was, but being in the Craig Proctor system, and I didn't have a lot of time and money to guess on how to market myself. I needed something that was proven and effective. So I could see so many people were having great success with this system. All I had to do was really copy it. I had to just copy and take action and implement the marketing. And then when I would get a phone call, there's a script to follow that's very, very good. It gets you an appointment with the client, and that's how I was helping a lot of people.
Okay. Now, obviously, I know all the answers to these questions I'm asking, so I'm just kind of setting it up so you can explain it to those watching that aren't familiar with our process. So lead generation, what's unique about our lead generation? I mean, you use the term marketing. A lot of realtors would think, well, I market, I advertise myself and my designations. And if I'm with Remax, I've got the balloon in my ad. What's different? What is different about this type of marketing versus the type of advertising and marketing that most agents are engaged in?
I think if the marketing is split up into unbranded and branded marketing. So unbranded marketing, it's giving customers information, but you're kind of flying under the radar. They don't really know that you're a real estate agent yet. So they're more inclined or feel more comfortable to raise their hand, and then you know that they're looking to either buy or sell a home. And I do a fair amount of unbranded marketing, and then there's the branded.
Okay, let me stop you right there with the unbranded, because I think we have an example. Faith, maybe you could pop the example, the ad that Ray submitted here, so we can share that with everyone. Really, it's so simple. What we're doing here is we're advertising stuff that buyers and sellers want. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, right? But that's really all we're doing, is we're advertising things that buyers and sellers want. We're flying underneath their advertising radar, as Ray has indicated. Here's an example. Milton Home Deals, bank-owned fixer-uppers, distress sales. So this is a Google ad. We're going to run, thank you, Faith. So we're offering, receive priority access to all the homes that match your criteria. We also can get access to our buyers to off-market and unlisted homes. So that's really the secret, is what is it that buyers and sellers want? Okay, let's offer that and make it easy and non-threatening for buyers and sellers to get it. And Ray, when you started to do that, guess what happened? Buyers and sellers started to come to you. And then the next step for you is, okay, well, now what do I do? What do I do? What do I say? How do I follow up with these prospects? Because they weren't calling you with these unbranded or less branded approaches. The prospects are just requesting information about the home buying process or selling process, or they want a list of priority homes or whatever. The scripting, how important is the being able to understand how to reach people and what to do and what to say, so you can decide who you want to work with. That's something we talked about before we got started here. Is back when you were just doing referrals, you didn't have the luxury of choice, right? Like you had to work with, literally you had to work with everybody. Now, because you've generated really more buyers and sellers than you could possibly work with, you get to decide who you spend time with.
Yeah, even, it was very freeing last year. I had somebody call me up, and I'd worked with this person before, and they were very dishonest, and I couldn't trust them. And, if I was doing things the old way, I'd have to take their business. I'd have to work with them. But it's very freeing to decide who you get to work with. Now I'm in that position.
Yeah, like I think we'd all agree, would everyone agree watching that some buyers are better than others, right? And some sellers are better than others. And what burns us out in this business is when you do have to work with everybody, right? If you have to work with people that disrespect you, they lie to you, they fight you all the way through the process, it makes being a real estate agent very difficult. It ruins your whole vibe. If you go home after a hard day of working with a disrespectful, difficult prospect, it just changes your mood, maybe the way you are around your family. So, we're talking about how to make more money in real estate, but let's be clear. We're also talking about what you no longer have to do. Okay. The buyers and sellers that you would not have to work with, if you had your marketing set up properly. And by properly, we mean inexpensively. Ray, these ads that we're talking about are not expensive, right? That we should talk about that. A lot of agents say, well, to do this, I'd have to spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising. So I'm better just to stick with, referrals and door knocking or whatever they teach you. It's very inexpensive. You're getting a great return on investment.
Yeah, I mean, and not all the marketing is paid for. I'm doing Facebook Marketplace ads, which are free, that are getting me business. But even the paid stuff, Craig, I'm 15xing and 17xing my initial investment on it. I mean, I would do that all day long.
That's the crazy thing about this is, as realtors, if another realtor sent us a referral from the other side of the country, we would gladly pay that realtor 25%. And that realtor in the other part of the country may get out of the business. They may meet a real estate agent in your area that they might like better than you. There's no guarantee you'll ever get another referral from that real estate agent, right? So there's no leverage in that. And we'd all happily agree to pay a 25% referral. Understand what we teach agents to do is to basically refer business to themselves using inexpensive, highly effective direct response marketing. With direct response, we mean you can measure it. Ray, there's nothing that you do that can't be measured. You know exactly what you're spending. You also know what the return is. So you can honestly jump on a meeting like this and say, yeah, I know that on this campaign, I'm getting a 10x return or a 20x return. It tells you like what you should do more of and what's not working.
That's right.
Now you blew your business up so large that you did get to this point where it's like, oh my God, I can't even work with all the buyers and sellers. So you started to expand your team. Talk about that, because in the beginning, we all make this mistake of thinking we can do it on our own. And yeah, if you don't have a lot of business, you can. But the idea is to grow your business so it really is a business. So like when you go away on vacation, when you take the weekends off, things are still happening at your office. Talk about that epiphany that you had where you realized, you know what, I want to go from having a job as a real estate agent to really having a business where things happen, without my constant involvement.
Yeah. So, I take a step back, I'm looking at my business and I'm saying, why am I on this income roller coaster? Some months are better than others. I'm trying to market myself and lead generate, and it's not working. And then I get a client and I help them out and I'm busy helping them out and there's no time and the lead generation just stops. And then I finish helping that client and then I'm back at square one. And I just said to myself, the lead generation can never stop for any reason. Like it always has to continue. Like you almost have to have somebody dedicated to doing that every single day. And when you look at the numbers, like in Ontario, there's 80,000 real estate agents that have a license, but 40,000 of them, half of them, they do nothing. They do no deals even in a year, right? And then even a smaller percentage will actually sell a few homes. So I realized there's a void to fill there, that actually there's a lot of great real estate agents probably even watching right now that are very good at what they do, but they just don't have enough people to work with. So I said, I have to shift my focus to becoming a rainmaker, to generating leads. I'm in like a totally different business right now. I'm in the appointment setting business, right? So I'm spending money on marketing and time, and I'm creating appointments for real estate agents on my team.
Okay, let's stop there. There's some gold nuggets. I want to dig into the gold nuggets here. First of all, the Rainmaker theory. Okay, explain to everybody your mindset, your paradigm when it comes to like what you mentioned, the term Rainmaker. What does that mean to you?
So Rainmaker has one, that's the entrepreneur in the business. That's the person that has one focus, and that's to bring business in, to create, do marketing and advertising to create leads.
Okay, so not all activities are Rainmaker activities. And, I didn't understand that when I first got into the business, Ray. I'm running around getting keys cut and taking pictures and, installing key boxes, putting up signs. None of that needs to be done by us. So Ray had this epiphany that, I need to be the Rainmaker, that not all work that needs to be done all day long in my real estate business is worthy of me. So you delegated the lower impact activities and you kept the high impact activities. So that's the way you started to delegate this out. So, and over time, your goal is to further remove yourself and further remove yourself. So it really is a business. A true business doesn't depend on the owner. It just is, right? So the other thing that you mentioned, okay, so you mentioned this Rainmaker theory and this epiphany that you had, that your new position is booking appointments for your agents. Talk
right.
about that. Talk about like that's the business you're in. Most real estate agents would think, well, the business that I am in is, running around doing everything and working with buyers and sellers. You've stepped more or less out of that role, and your key function in your business is running the marketing and creating appointments for your team members. And then, of course, because you're growing in leaps and bounds, you're always looking for other agents to come and partner up with you, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But if I was an agent on your team, honestly, Ray, I've got a pretty sweet deal, right? So Ray and I were discussing this before we got started, but here's how this works. So Ray pays for all the marketing and advertising. That's a Rainmaker activity. And then Ray calls the leads. He calls the leads because that's a Rainmaker activity. He qualifies the leads, sets up appointments. Then he's got highly trained outside sales agents. So if you're an outside sales agent on Ray's team, you literally just look at your calendar and you go from listing appointment to a listing appointment. Ray gives you the presentation, coaches you up on how to be an awesome listing agent and buyer agent. and you just go out there and sell houses. So for the outside sales agent, they get to focus on what they're really good at all day long. So they're not running around getting keys cut, taking pictures, installing key boxes and for sale signs. The role of the agents that work on Ray's team is simply to go from appointment to appointment to appointment. So Ray is very highly motivated to make sure that his team members make a lot of money, because they're on a split with him, and the more money they make, the more money Ray makes. So, you've got somebody that's really cares about your business. So how do you recruit your agents now? How do, I would think in your area, and by the way, Ray Hanna is outside of Toronto. He's in an area called Milton. But why should agents come and work with you, and how do you recruit them to come to your team?
Well, they should come to me because they're going to get off the income roller coaster. What they're going to see is they're going to get world-class Craig Proctor real estate training. And really, they're going to have they're going to be meeting with qualified, ready-to-act buyers and sellers. They're going to have a very compelling presentation that they're going to be presenting. And then they just have to work with the client, which is something that they can do. They're good at that. The issue is finding the business. I'm solving that problem. And lastly, just collecting commission checks.
Right. So the outside sales agents on my team, we're making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. That's for them after they're split with me. And they had a pretty sweet deal. I paid for all the marketing and advertising. They just show up and go from appointment to appointment. I would coach them and train them up every week. And so that's why we get into real estate. We want to get into real estate to make the most amount of money. Joining up with Ray, for some of you watching, is an awesome opportunity. Here's the way I think real estate's going. I think you're either going to create your own highly profitable real estate team, or eventually you're going to go work for one, or you're going to go work with someone that's already doing this if you want to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time. A lot of agents that I would recruit, here's some of the problems I had, Ray. They would say, well, you know what? I don't want to lose my independence. They would say that I don't want to lose my independence. And I would ask the agent, well, what did you make last year? Well, I made $100,000. Okay, but what did you keep? Okay, you grossed $100,000. Well, I probably spent 40 to make the 100. So you really only netted 60 grand. What's your life like? Oh, I'm working 60, 70 hours a week. You understand, you could go over and work with Ray, make more money net in your pocket than you ever would doing it by yourself, and work way less hours. So it really comes back to, are we in real estate because we want to stroke our own ego and you want to fly your own flag? And I don't know, somehow you think, well, if I join up with Ray, I'm going to lose my independence. Not at all. You're going to gain freedom. And if that's really, truly why you got into real estate in the first place, is because you want to make more money and work less, this is the kind of opportunity. Now, look, if you're not in Ray's marketplace, then you can contact me, just like Ray did, and I'll have a conversation about how you can do what Ray's doing in your marketplace. But if you're in Milton, Ontario, you don't need to call me. Everything you want to do in real estate is already being done by Ray Hanna. Just reach out to him, give him a call. He'll explain all it works. It's no obligation. It's just a phone call, right? What's the downside? If you don't like what he has to say, you just keep doing what you're doing. But you should check it out. Ray, what would be the best way for realtors to reach you? Maybe they just even want to call you and verify your story that you've been able to 4X your business in a year and a half with me. And this year, by the end of this year, it'll be 8X. That's pretty good in a couple of years, right? To 8X your business. Mm-hmm. What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
They can call or text me directly on my cell phone, 647-822-7535. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or how I did it, please reach out to me, or you can email me at ray@rayhannateam.com. And then, of course, you can find me on all the various social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Just Google, Ray Hanna Real Estate Team. You'll find me.
That's right. That's a good exercise. You should Google Ray Hanna and then Google yourself. Okay, Google Ray and then Google yourself and see what the difference is. And no question today, buyers and sellers, their first step when they want to find anything, right, either a restaurant or a realtor, is they go to Google. And we'll drop all Ray's information. We'll drop it in the comments below. And maybe we can drop in that ad we showed you. But we're using direct response marketing. Okay, so Ray, I cut you off there, but you were saying there were two different types of marketing we use. One is less branded advertising, where we're literally just offering buyers and sellers information they want, and you're not really promoting yourself. You're making it, offering something people want, making it easy and non-threatening for them to get it. And people don't want to call a real estate agent in that case, so they just want the information. But that's a great lead. When do they find out about you? When you call them back, right? When Ray calls them back, then he's got an opportunity to talk about himself and his approach and what sets him apart. The other type of advertising that you're engaged in is branded advertising. So Ray, I want you to talk about the branded advertising. And when we say branded, we're not talking about Ray standing in the middle of a cornfield, with an ad saying, call Ray, he's he's number one in his field. We're not talking about Ray standing next to his BMW with, the number one, saying I'm number one. We're not talking about image advertising at all. Give us an idea of how you would market yourself with branded advertising so it's effective.
Oh yeah, I had to find a way to stand out from the crowd, like put myself in the shoes of the consumer. And why should they work with Ray Hanna? Well, what if I were offering them very special and unique guarantees, like your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it, or your home sold at 100% of the market value or I'll pay you the difference. Or if you're a buyer, an 18-month buyer satisfaction guarantee, where if you become unhappy with the home in any way within the first 18 months, I'll either buy it back from you or sell it for free. I have so many, and now I'm getting known for these things. Like people that I know in my circle, when they see me, they're saying, "Hey Ray, your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it." So this stuff is really working. It really resonates with people.
All right, so let me be a naysayer. Here's what some realtors would think. Oh, well, Ray, that's a bait and switch. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Folks, this is what buyers and sellers want. What do you think would be better for the seller if you were the seller? Having a guarantee that if your house doesn't sell, that Ray's going to buy it for the upfront written guarantee. It's upfront. There's no trickery here. We're giving sellers an upfront written guarantee that will sell their home for X amount, and we're going to market the home for 4 months. The seller always gets the benefit of the highest offer, whether it's Ray's upfront written guarantee or a superior offer from an outside buyer. This is like an insurance policy that we're giving sellers that no other real estate agent's giving them. So set aside your feelings about direct response marketing and think of it from the prospect's point of view. What we're offering is what buyers and sellers want. You might not like it. You may think, oh, it's a bait and switch. It's this and that. Look at folks. We could argue everything in real estate is bait and switch. How about this? Let me give everyone an example. Every time you advertise a house, whether you get an ad call or a sign call, here's what happens. 90% of the callers, at least, when they find out about the house, when you're telling them, describing your listing, right? You're trying to do a good job, describe the house that you have listed. They eliminate the property, right? They tell you it's too big, it's too small, it's in the wrong location, it's too much money. So what do? Do you just let the buyer hang up? No, you say to the buyer, well, what are you looking for? And the buyer tells you what they're looking for. And then you tell them about another property that would match their criteria. So you baited them with a picture of a house, right? Your listing, and they called you, but we can all agree 90% of the people that call you eliminate the property. And they're going to eliminate you too, unless you can tell them about something that interests them. So you bait them with your listing, and then you switch them on to a house that would be appropriate. So we got to get rid of all these negative connotations, negative thoughts about, oh, it's bait and switch. No. The purpose of marketing is to get the phone to ring, to offer buyers and sellers stuff they really want. This is not being taught in real estate school. This is not being taught by your broker or these old school sales trainers that are teaching you to go out and knock on doors and beg for referrals. We're talking about smart, modern marketing and technology that will attract, sift, and sort the prospects. Ray saw this online. He saw me on social media. He saw some of our clients getting outstanding results. He mentioned Quantum Leap. Ray has not just doubled, he's not tripled, he's 4 times his business. He's been with me for about 18 months. Right. By the time we get to the 2-year mark, you'll be at 8x. So, it's amazing that realtors will watch an interview like this and then sit on their hands. Oh, well, Ray's he's probably just a friend of Craig's. It might work for him, but he's in the Toronto area, but my marketplace is different. He's a man, I'm a woman, he's younger or he's older than me. We make all of these excuses up, but I promise you this, folks, this system will work for you regardless of what marketplace you're in. Ray, what do you want to say to wrap this up? Let's throw it over to you for some final thoughts.
I would say, if you like what you're hearing and you're open-minded, take action. If I can do it, you can do it. Yes, there's work involved, but this is the most complete system that I've ever come across. You can jump into this system at any point where you're having problems. There's a solution for it. Not only that, I'm with like-minded other real estate people that have one thing on their mind. They want to do better in their business. And I feel with the Craig Proctor system, I can weather any storm, any kind of problem in real estate. I'm surrounded with some of the top people. So
hey, let's talk about that. Forget Craig Proctor. Let's say I'm not even part of the equation. Just the people you've met while you've been in the Craig Proctor system. I mean, hanging out with agents that are making millions of dollars from all over Canada and the United States, that alone has had a big impact on you.
Yeah, we're brainstorming, we're trading ideas. I'm learning from them, they're learning from me. Even there's, it's you when you surround yourself with the right people, you're going to see results, and they're all so helpful. Craig, there's never been a time that I reached out to somebody, and these are very busy people that are growing their businesses every day. They're super busy, but they've always made 30 minutes for me. I picked up the phone. Hey, can I just ask you a few questions about what you're doing? You're having success in this area. Could we just talk about it? Or they sent me something, like nothing but helpful.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool culture. We attract entrepreneurial agents like Ray. We put them all together. And I think what happens, when you get together with our members is, you kind of become friendly with them and you realize, hey, this person's that's making, double or triple or 10 times what I'm making. They're no different than me. Right? They have the same problems, they have the same opportunities, and you start to hang out with them, become friendly with them, and you realize everything that they're doing, you can do. I want to repeat this again. Everything, if you're watching this right now and you're entrepreneurial, everything that you want to do in real estate is already being done by Ray and thousands of Craig Proctor system members from all over North America. You don't have to have a creative bone in your body. All you have to do is start hanging out. Right? Ray, you kind of just met me from somebody else on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
You watched it, you became curious. It all started with a phone call. He got involved. He's never looked back. Could you ever consider going back to how you used to do real estate?
Oh, never. I could never go back to being a solo agent. No, this works much better for me. In fact, I was in Cancun, Mexico last week at a Craig Proctor seminar. And I checked in with my outside sales agent just to say, hey, what's going on? Any updates? She said, yeah, Ray, those buyers I was working with, we helped them to buy a home. And I said to her, good job, way to go. Hung up the phone, had the biggest smile on my face. And I said, Ray, you really have a business now that doesn't require your constant attention and you have to be doing everything. Things are happening back home and you're in Cancun, Mexico. I could never go back to doing it any other way. It's more enjoyable.
Yeah. So folks, if you're watching this and you want to, if you want to do a call with me, I'll tell you what, if you want to do a call with my team and I, this is what I'll do. If you go to proctorcall.com, so my name, proctorcall.com, you can go to my Acuity Day Timer. Okay. And you can pick a day and a time and we'll spend 45 minutes. Okay. I'll ask you a bunch of questions about where you are in your business and where you want to go. Sound fair? Where you are right now and where it is you want to go. And you can tell me like all the obstacles. I mean, obviously, if you know where you are and you know where you want to go, just give you a heads up. The question I'm going to ask you is why you're not already doing it, right? So if you're making 100 grand a year and it's, I'd really like to make 200. Well, why aren't you doing it? Now you're going to tell me why. You're going to tell me all the reasons why you're not reaching your goals. And I'm going to show you how to go around those obstacles. Ray, it wasn't like before we met. How many years in real estate were you before you met me?
About 11 years.
Okay. And you were making like about 100 grand a year every year for 11 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't like you weren't only making 100 grand a year because you wanted to limit your income or anything, right? It's just like you didn't know how to do better.
I didn't know how. I didn't know how to meet strangers. I didn't know how to effectively market myself. I didn't know where to spend the money. There was a lot I didn't know.
So I want everyone to watch this. Okay. 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. Ray does that for 11 years. He meets up with me, and now he's doing 4 times $100,000 in 18 months. Okay. By the end of this year, he's going to be at 800,000. That's 8x, 8 times. For 11 years, he did 100 grand. Not because he didn't want to do better. It wasn't lack of trying. He just didn't know how to do it. That's what we teach you. Now, the big benefit is Ray didn't just have Craig. He had all of these thousands of Craig Proctor members that will share their experience. So you guys should check it out. You know, if you're still watching this, that's a good sign, right? That means you're kind of into this. But don't say, oh, that was a great interview. You know, maybe I should do something someday. Do it right now. Book a call with me at proctorcall.com, or look in the we'll put a link in there in the comments below, and we'll have Ray's information in there as well. So reach out to Ray or myself. Let's have a conversation. It costs you nothing to reach out to us, right? Like, what could happen to you? Okay. You know, why Ray and not you? It just starts with a conversation. And the fact that you're here watching this, and you've been here watching this now for over a half an hour, is a pretty good sign that what we're talking about resonates with you. So take it a step further and reach out to us, book a call, and we'd love to share more. Ray, I want to thank you so much for doing this today. 8 times. I'm going to hold you to that, and I'll get you back on here. I'll get you back on the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show as we circle around. We'll get you back on, and we'll keep following up with your progress. But so glad you became part of this, that you took the chance to investigate, and you've been a great Craig Proctor System member. You're there, you show up, you implement, and you deserve all the success that you're getting. So thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you, Craig. And I just wanted to mention, if you're wondering what was the first step or what was the first thing I did, was I attended a super conference. And to those that are watching, the next super conference is in Anaheim, California, April 26th, 27th, 28th. I hope to see you there. If you do show up, please come and introduce yourself to me. I'm for sure going to be there. You got to show up to go up, and I would never miss a Craig Proctor event. I
love that. You got to show up to go up. Now, hey, Ray, you do a better job of plugging my conferences than I do, because you're absolutely right. I forgot to mention, if you want to spend 3 days with us and like totally immerse yourself in the Craig Proctor system, you can register. Go to craigproctor.com, click on Super Conference. It's 3 days with me, Ray, and 1,000 other Craig Proctor System members. It's at the Hyatt in Anaheim, California, at the end of April. So yeah, it'd be great, to see everybody there. But at a minimum, reach out, contact Ray, contact myself. Let's start a conversation, and we'll see where it goes. So Ray, thanks again for doing this, and thanks everybody for watching the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. We'll see you all again next time. Take care.
Thank you, Craig.
Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are 2 important things, and both are totally free. Number 1 is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.